Here with the can I call you QB guru? Can I call you that?
Sure, man, whatever. I'm just a ball coach.
Yeah, just the ball coach. Donovan Dooley continues to churn out quarterbacks. You got a quarterback of the future at Michigan and a quarterback of the future in Michigan.
Yes, sir.
When you talk about young Donald Tabron, man, let's first talk about the quarterback of the future at Michigan. Going through his first spring, he talked about where he has kind of seen the growth in himself.
Yeah.
Where have you seen the growth in him as his longtime QB coach as you've kind of worked with him coming off of his first spring?
Just living a position, when anytime you transition into playing college football, it becomes truly a job. It's not like you're in school 7 hours anymore. So what you do with your time, those countless minutes and hours count. He's a tireless worker, and ultimately what you learn is learning the playbook, the vernacular, the verbiage, and then communicating with guys that are older than you. He's used to being an alpha, obviously, but ultimately when you're around other alphas, not only, iron sharp as iron. So I think he's learning just how to just be a true professional, and he's doing really well.
I know there are going to be there's going to be a physical side of his growth that even he, as physically gifted as he is going to have to go through. It just feels like that's going to come. The mental part of it, though, man, even as talented as he is and as confident as he is, it feels like that's going to be a thing for him, too. But I got to tell you, he's the guy that said, I'm going to win 2 Heismans.
Yes,
I'm going to win a bunch of national championships. He's coming in the door saying that. What do you feel about that as a freshman walking in the door with that kind of juice?
I call it swagger and confidence, just the Floyd Mayweather mentality, just coming in and just understanding what a real dog does, And ultimately, he's a pit bull, he's an animal, but he's a cerebral animal, just understanding what it takes from the neck up, and he understands the next play. You make a mistake, he's going to make some freshman mistakes. The kid is 17 years old, but ultimately, what reps does for you is just, again, that mental toughness and just fight through adversity, and just keeping the main thing and winning. Winning stops all naysayers.
Yeah, so the reason why I asked you that question was because you have perspective on him. So you can talk to people about, listen, don't take it as cockiness, take it as confidence.
Absolutely. I think confidence and cockiness is a fine line. 1 inch left or 1 inch right, you can be on either end of the road. But ultimately, as a quarterback, you got to be ultra confident. And if you don't believe in yourself, who will?
Mm-hmm. So as a coach, you got to know that line, right? That's one of the things that, as his new coaches, you could kind of see them, kind of let them go a little bit.
You have to.
They didn't jump on that even when he said it.
So the thing is, what you got to understand who Bryce Underwood is. Either I always equate quarterbacks, you either a pit bull on the leash or a pit bull off the leash. He's a pit bull off the leash. Don't keep him on the leash. Let him go. Let him roll. Again, he'll learn on the job, but ultimately he'll get you to where you want to be.
So now, as you look at his preparation for a big competition coming up in the fall, what are the things you're coaching him all the time?
Absolutely.
What are the things you stressing that he needs to, hey man, you're getting ready for a big time competition, he needs to brush up on as he heads into his first fall camp?
Well, anytime you talk about competition, again, keeping the main thing, the quarterback traits and intangibles, just being a situational creature, taking care of the football. The football is the program, as the cliche says. Taking what the defense gives you is another cliche. Understand the kills, the cans, the calls, and just, not being afraid to take shots, but having calculated risk, but more importantly, just making it a habit, So I think he'll do really well. Bryce has never wavered away from competition. He wouldn't want it any other way, and we'll see what happens.
All right, now let's transition over into young Dante Tabron, a precocious youngster in his own right, coming up, starting to blaze his own trail. We've talked to him off camera before, but now let's talk about him on camera. For people who haven't seen him, give them a glimpse of what's in store when they finally get a chance to see him on the field. His star is rising.
Well, Donte Tabron is silky smooth. You talk about a 6'4", or 6'3.5", 6'4" kid that just has good pitch, good placement on the football. Just a genuine kid. Comes from a great family, a good stock, and solid academically, and a true just warrior within the cerebral part of the game. But more importantly, he loves competition as well. He's at Cass Tech, just came off a state championship title, and they have this state championship or bust mentality. But just in terms of Donte Tabron, you got one that had an opportunity to see Bryce Underwood, had an opportunity to see Trey Taylor. So as the big brothers, look forward to something special from him as well.
So when I ask you to make comparisons, I'm not asking you to say who's better. I'm asking you to kind of compare their track, to compare, the kind of intangible qualities that they bring to the table. Because we've seen a champion in Bryce, we've seen a champion in Dante Morton. These were guys that have risen to the heights of being like top players in the country, not just in Michigan. How does Don's track kind of compare to the track
He's right
that
there.
those guys are on?
He's absolutely parallel to those guys. Every quarterback has their own different traits and intangibles, but he's right there. He'll be one of the most highly touted quarterbacks in the country. He'll continue to ascend. He'll continue to be a winner. But more importantly, he's going to continue to work on the skill set, which matters to me most. He always, I think, the smartest people in the world ask great questions. He's always asking great questions and taking great notes. So again, he takes a workmanship mentality. So Dante will be on the same parallel as those guys, without a doubt.
Gotcha, Don Dooley, man. So for people who wanted to know more about your training regimen and tutelage and how, if they have young quarterbacks that they want to bring up in the game, how can they find out more about you and what you do?
Well, more importantly, everybody says Donovan Dooley, but I got a hell of a team. Yes, I'm the owner, but you got Connor Sampson, Sam Johnson, you got Chris Merchant, you got Bruce Moore. So I got a lot of guys, on this table, a staff of guys that does their job day in day. We truly work as a team collectively. But QBUinformation@gmail.com, and just talk to us. Talk to our assistant Haley. I don't mean to be so Hollywood, but talk to Haley, and we'll get you rolling. It's all good.
Appreciate you. Thanks, man.
No doubt.